Join me on this journey that's off-road and on the beach. Today we are exploring the Clements Beach house. What happened? Why was it abandoned? Why did it decay? What's going on with it now? All these questions will be answered throughout the video along with some pictures. Also, there is some beautiful trails at this location that are in the video. In this section, we're going to be talking about the Clements Beach house. The Clements Beach house was built in 1953 by Wiley Maddox. He sold his one-story wood frame house built on treated wood pilings and 29.44 acres tacked to Robert S. and Mary J. Clements. The original portion of the house, was the left side. It was built in 1964. The entire house was renovated in 1968. The house has 7 bedrooms and sleeps up to 14. The right second half was renovated in 1968. The house itself has no air conditioning, but it did have baseboard heat. And if you look, it's kind of hard to tell right now, but if you look at the front part, was all windows. It was all Anderson windows throughout when Bob built it. You can also see it in my video. He said that if he's going to do it, he's going to do it right. And he did exactly that. This house, as it stands right now, has been out in the open for almost 30 years. The construction that he did on this stands true to who he is because it's 30 years left in the open throughout the storms, the hurricanes, the wind, and snowstorms. The pilings that were put in, Bob put all those in with no heavy machinery. So it shows that, they're still there. The house still level. About the family. Bob and Mary had two sons, Stephen and John, and they then had a daughter, Patty. So Bob built the house as a summer house, but it was actually used year round. It was just for the summer. They were here in winter too. So it was a place for them to get away. They were from Northern Virginia area, so they would travel from Northern Virginia. They would go up the Bay Bridge and then down Route 404 to get fresh produce. They would stop at the A&P grocery store in Berlin, stock up on all their supplies and food that they needed. There was a Sunoco station in downtown Berlin. They would keep a car there so they could drive on the beach to come to their house. So when the family was using the house, they would do lots of crabbing. They had a boathouse. It was out back. They did a lot of water skiing in the bay. They go swimming in the ocean. It was a lot of family time at that house, which I can definitely see. There's no phone there. They had a ship to shore radio. that they would use, and you would have to call a dispatcher that was in Salisbury, dispatch them whenever they needed to talk to, as far as TV wise. So they had a little small black and white TV. Bob would use it to watch the local news at night. And it was very quiet place for the family vacation. I can only imagine what it was like, just how quiet it was out there. There's nobody out here. I mean, it's just the family enjoying their home. As the Teak Island was going to be developed into a housing development, there was already housing out there anyway being built. There was hunting lodges that were there, the Clements house and the Muster's house. The storm knocked a couple houses into the ocean. The Park Service and the federal government said, that's enough. They're not going to build out here anymore. And that was going to be the end of it. So they shut it down. They turned it into a national park. They took over all the houses. When they took them over, they gave a fair wage for the houses. The Clements did it, and I know the Buntings did. Everybody took the government to court to try to stall time to see if they could stay here longer or to get as much money as they could. They all went to court. They all tried to get as much money as they could. In return, they were given a 25-year right to use the house. The government took this house in 1973. In 1973, when they took over, they leased the house back to the family at $0 per year, and they were given a 25-year rights. It was January of '98 when it was the last time that the house was used. They were given a date and time that they had to leave. The Park Service never maintained the houses or the lodges. The Park Service lets nature take its course. That's how it ends up the way it is today. During a storm in the 1980s, unknown persons sought shelter in the house. State police allowed the intruders to stay during the storm, but the intruders caused damage to the house. What's going on with this house now? The Park Service and the federal government now own these houses on Assateague Island. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also don't forget to hit the notification button so you'll know when new videos get released.